5 seconds remaining.
Welcome back. Game number 2 here is ready for you as we get ourselves through the American qualifiers for ESL One Frankfurt. I'm Gareth in the JD Studios and we're ready. The game is loaded, the draft has begun. Digital Chaos up against Shazam. Our first series of the day, but this is game number 2. Shazam took game number 1 and in some style DC not deal with their push strat. And my co-caster pretty much called it scant. You said there was a timing with the Radiance, the Necro 3, and DC just could not withhold the pressure.
Yeah, they did exactly the opposite of what they needed to do to stand that pressure. They threw themselves straight at it and it didn't work out for them. I'm interested to see that in the second game, Shazam, even though they have the first pick now, are still banning the Invoker, because you mentioned that Resolution obviously really likes to play that hero, but I believe that MSS has been playing it quite a lot as one, but could have first picked themselves and decided they'll ban it rather. So I'm very curious to see what they put MSS on this game. Like, do they have a deliberate plan for the kind of hero they want him to be in this matchup, and that's why they won't pick him the Invoker? Are they afraid, like, does he not want to play Invoker against this team? Well, here we go, first pick OD, so I guess that answers that question.
MSS seems to have, you know, a quite wide and varied hero pool, not just the normal meta heroes. You know, in that one best of 5 we were talking about against Complexity earlier on, he picked a different hero in every game. OD, Wind Ranger, Death Prophet, Invoker, and Temporal Assassin. But this series, we're going to see him play OD twice in a row, it looks like. Digital Chaos, they get their hands on Earth Spirit and Nature's Prophet. Two nasty devils, very good at controlling lanes, giving you information, intelligence, and knowledge about where supports are rotating. Exactly how many heroes you're going to have to deal with, because they can make up the numbers quickly with a roll across the map, the TP in from long range as well. DC have gap closers, and plenty of it.
Nature's Prophet, interestingly, again, having watched Starlighted the last few days, the hero's been doing pretty badly from the off lane. The few teams that have picked in the safe lane have actually been winning with it, but off-lane Nature's Prophets have been struggling a bit. I have seen it in the NA region, off-lane Nature's Prophet doing quite well. Complexity have been running it, and in fact, got a talking point for the next series. So, I mean, jumping ahead, is that Swindle's been playing off-lane Enchantress, off-lane Nature's Prophet, right? For Complexity, which wasn't a thing that Complexity didn't do that. Like, only Jesse played it, and they'd like switch what was in which lane, what roles they were doing when they did it. So it is a hero that's been trending in the NA scene recently and has been doing well there, even though it's Starlighter, it's not been doing so well from the offlane. And I think it's Starlighter, the thing that wasn't working with the offlane Nature's Prophets is that sometimes the pace of the game, there's a sense in which I almost feel like offlane Nature's Prophet farms into the game and then has an impact, whereas the safe lane Nature's Prophet has an impact and then gets farmed, if that makes sense. Like, you get the lane farm so early, keeping into the fight match early on and having a big impact. So it'll be interesting to see which way Digital Chaos like to run it. They've been following that tournament. They prepared a safe lane Enchantress. What's wrong with me? Nature's Prophet. I'm just staring at this. I have to say her name. I don't know why.
It doesn't feel like a Weehaw hero. You know that feeling you get when you see a hero. For me, it just goes to Moo. So we'll see what they do with it, but. I'm not sold. Usually I'm pretty sold on your little ideas and little thoughts.
No, I think you're right. I think Moo's the one who, I think they had it in their previous series, and I think it was only Moo. So I think I agree with your intuition. Like a Wii hero.
As progress, Shazam get rid of the Lycan and the Death Prophet, remove a little bit of the pushing power of DC. Void, obviously a good pairing with the Outworld Devourer, don't want that to be in the hands of Shazam, so DC get rid of that one, as well as TC's Lone Druid, which, honestly, was relatively quiet in the previous game, but was so massively impactful with just the timings of the Midas, the Radiance, the quiet farming, and it just seems like a TC hero, you know, very sort of, you know, timidly farming away, just very solid, standard, and then all of a sudden, bam, you win the game. The Radiance is online. You can't do anything against him, he just walks into you and you're crushed. But not going to be dealing with it. Digital Chaos, to look here for them. I'll need a hero like the Lion or the Witch Doctor to bolster these lanes a little bit more. So looking towards your mid hero and that matchup against the Outworld Devourer, but you've got leeway. With the Earth Spirit available to roll into mid, you've got a bit of leeway there, just maybe have a disadvantageous matchup. Always got to wonder where the Enchantress is heading though, whether it will be the off lane. It's going to be that support roaming around again.
Lion.
Yeah, I definitely think it could be either. I think the support Enchantress has been maybe a bit more popular recently. Also wonder whether the Earth Spirit pick is not to some extent a block pick in addition to just being a pick, because SVG, I've seen him really flourish in that hero. I think it might be his preferred roaming hero, as I have crashed, so you're gonna have to talk
Dire
over it.
team pick.
It's fine. They picked the Lion, like I said, but Shazam really like this Dazzle, huh? They've picked it up a lot for Jason. His Lion and his Dazzle have been like the mainstay heroes for him. And it's not a hero we see from a lot of other teams. I kind of remember that one game where OG, they tried to run a draft that they kind of had from Frankfurt at Dota Pit, where they had Shadow Fiend, Tusk, Dazzle, plus, I can't remember, a couple of other heroes from the previous patch, and they tried to run the old strat. It just didn't really work out for them, but it seems Shazam kind of fit this in here, and I remember you talking about this, 3-4 weeks ago when we were casting together, that you were surprised that teams didn't pick more spam supports, whether it be spam heals or just spam nukes and disables. And Dazzle was one of the ones you talked about, pairing with the OD and that Essence Aura, being able to have that infinite heal and infinite push pretty much come through from them. Shazam, they've picked up on it and definitely go for it, but there's the mid hero for DC. More likely than not, it can be over in the hands of Resolution, although saying that now, Range has been a Wii hero historically. Wonder if they'll switch things up a little bit.
10 seconds remaining.
Shazam, their fourth pick.
5 seconds
They start to head towards. Offlane hero is still available, there's no Beastmaster, still Tidehunter. Not the Nyx Assassin if they want to go down that avenue. That's like Gant has crashed fully his game, and then his PC. Valve do not love him. Being an ass, being fired, burn his PC to the ground as well. Like it's gonna be a couple of minutes. Be alone. The draft, just what you've always wanted. Me analyzing drafts and what people are picking up as the Darkseer. By Shazam applies a lot of laning pressure.
Remaining.
Got good presence in the lane, but it's also a natural mech carrier, so you add even more heals to your draft.
Remaining.
Able to push into these towers a little bit harder. Look for your Gyrocopter or something like that for TC to add in a bit more damage and combo up with the DS. Don't have too many stuns here though for Shazam. None at all really. Vacuum is pseudo stun, it drags people back in. Spectre to take out by DC.
Radiant team back.
OD Astral and Enchantress creeps. Interesting, but no stun lineups, they're not all bad. If you've got the damage output to throw into these team fights. You don't really need stuns or the ability to catch people if you can just run at them and push into towers with the mech, with the heals out from Dazzle and Enchantress. Digital Chaos, they're still looking for their one-roll hero as well. Ben's available. Bound from Shazam. We're kinda waiting to see what they take out, and it's the Juggernauts.
Dire
Could
team.
have turned themselves into a kind of pushing draft as well, or at least allowed them and enabled them to have that healing ward alive with preempts and pressure into the tier 1s a little bit earlier on. Had a Lycan as well, didn't they? Phantom Lancer is a hero that I like to see a little bit more of from time to time. Shazam, even with the Outworld Devourer, can clear through illusions relatively well. They don't have any real big ways to clear through these illusions, but it's always a situation where DC have to pick first. Don't know what they're walking into. Don't have as many options as Shazam do. Scant. Get him back in.
10 seconds
Online.
remaining.
Problem. Excellent. This is
5 seconds
good.
remaining.
Rip Scant. Dead. He's gone. Oh, hello.
Radiant
Oh.
team pick.
Hello. What's going on here then? Enigma Lion as your supports. We are Earth Spirit mid. Then you have Resolution. What is going on? Unless it's like what Scan said and they have the safe lane Nature's Prophet. Lane Earth Spirit?
10 seconds
Mid Ranger?
remaining.
That Enigma pick has kind of thrown me for a loop, but I guess with the lack of stuns and the only ability to stop that black hole, the Astral and the Vacuum, but not really great at cancelling it out, also does add in another mech carrier for them. The ability to push into these towers. Laning stage is going to be very interesting to see exactly how they push this one out, though, across the lanes, while Shazam, I'm pretty certain I'm pretty certain they need a one-roll carry. But now after that Enigma pick, I just don't know what's happening anymore. What do you even look for to try and deal with this one? Carries with stuns, a Sven maybe. Darkseer Sven has always been kind of that age-old combination. Up into Sanj and Yasha and your Blink BKB. I have that opportunity with such active heroes here from Digital Chaos.
Currently unavailable.
Excellent, thank you so much. The person I'm trying to reach is currently unavailable. Shut up. Shut up. Leave me alone. Stupid automated bloody Skype woman. You disgust me.
10 seconds.
10
seconds
seconds
remaining.
Bed. Left me alone. Yeah, it's the gyro. It's the one I said earlier. The kind of solid, stable, standard carry there for TC. Gonna give them the combo a little bit with the Darkseer as well as the Outworld Devourer. Also Flat Cannon to try and deal with these pushes in from Digital Chaos. Right, so it is a Wee Earth Spirit. It is a Moo, Nature's Prophet. And it is a Resolution win. The way that I thought it was going to go, it will go. But lanes, how are they going to pan out? We saw Weeha when he played for Secret at Dota Pit, Earth Spirit against an OD. That at Shanghai. Regardless, Dota Pit or Shanghai. And laning stage goes pretty trash, honestly. Earth Spirit doesn't do anything. He just tries and leeches level 6, tries to get himself into that one. And then you roam around and you look for this like 5-man push in with Saxa having a black hole and you can just go and team fight very early on.
5 seconds
5
remaining.
seconds remaining.
Okay, a bit of a pocket pick here from DC though. We get ourselves into the game.
Of the wood.
Hopefully, Co-caster alive again. Oh,
Prepare for
Prepare
I'm
battle.
not sure he is. He is. So, Weeha, where are you heading, my friends? Mango, Tangos, the Salve. Gonna be a safe lane Earth Spirit. Solution. Got himself already here for the mid lane with no Talisman and Fairy Fire, and they're just gonna keep their rolls as standard as they can be. Triple clarity for Saxa on the Enigma and Moo. Gonna just be heading towards the off lane with his brown boots, Nature's Prophet. And Misery has a double ward. Shazam do walk into a Treant though there. SVG Enchantress, TC on the Gyro, Brax playing your Darkseer. Let's pick it up on that OD once more. He had a pretty stunning game in game number 1. After early death in the laning stage. Last one of course is going to be Jason over on that Dazzle. Keeping people alive for as long as he possibly can. He's just going to get walked into here. Yeah, throws a couple of hits out with his nice little staff. Early warding so far. One camp blocked up. An observer ward giving vision across a couple, so they know where Enigma's heading. Maybe also so they know where Enigma's smoking from. Maybe 1-for-1 bounty trade-off. Misery.
The battle
Getting too active on the top room spot. 3 heroes here from Shazam are ready to fight. Maybe in Wind Ranger will get the trade-off of bounties there, which is going to be pretty standard for 2 sentries. That is not gonna cut it, that's not gonna catch. Well, there is out of range, and Sax is gonna have to spend another one, but where does he put it? He's gonna have to try and put it back behind the camp. Realize very soon that it's not gonna spawn up and he's in a spot of bother. We're in his own jungle even. Well, hello, Zach. Okay here. Iron shells are down, and he tries to walk back into the creep wave with the 3 iron shells on him. Weeha taking a lot of damage, but turns back for another swipe into the Darkseer again, but they do not get a kill. A little bit of a harass back onto Brax's Darkseer as Weeha, what's he taking? Roll level 1. Able to throw out a boulder smash or a kick or anything like that, as SVG makes himself pretty active so far up on this top lane, already moving himself into a position to maybe try and harass out Misery or look for a kill. Well, last hit wise, OD's getting punished a touch by Resolution's Wind Ranger. Yeah, I'm aware about the in-game sounds going through Dota TV. I'm not sure why that's happening. Nick's having a few little hiccups. And it's the weekend, so I can't get the tech guy to come in and sort it out, so apologies for that. Nothing I can do, unfortunately. SVG up on the ramp, Misery, scouted. And it's just this Enchantress's ability to walk into the dire jungle and maybe look for the Enigma, but Sax is relatively safe back here. be awarded that just yet. Scats has reconnected the game, so now it looks like I can call him and get back into the action. There we go. Hello, you're not dead? Hello? There. Talking. Maybe he is dead.
Hello?
There we go.
I'm alive. Took a while, but you know what? I mean, I have a pretty fancy computer, but it's a few years old, and I think it's suggesting that I upgrade it.
Yeah, it's suggesting it needs to retire and go to an old PC home.
Yeah. In fact, oh no, is it happening again? I feel like my computer's like telling me I can't Skype and stuff always done that.
Crash Dota 2 again.
Sort of. It's frozen Dota 2, which I think is Dotacraft.
And he's gone.
Let me see if I can.
Oh, are you still here? You kind of went there. I know, I think you've gone again. Well, hopefully we can resurrect him from the grave in a little bit. As, yep, he's gone. He's gone again. Oh, dearie me. Oh, dearie me. And yeah, the second sentry ward gets placed further up there, but it's not going to catch the sentry ward from the Radiant. Ward is camped, so Saxon doesn't have access to that at all. It's going to limit his farming a little bit. Not a massive amount. It's a little bit annoying. You're not going to get that super fast level 6, but it's still doing pretty well for himself. Level 4, 3.5 minutes in, and it's scoff out, honestly, but it's the first smoke from SVG that we're really aiming to look at here, and Chance coming off cooldown in 3 seconds time. Got this Astral as well to set up, and we saw how well they did with that in the previous games. Only one Centaur this time, but not the double Centaurs that SVG had previously, and Resolution very wisely turns back to his own tier 1, going to block up this creep wave, but SVG is smoke, it runs out, and there's no going towards that middle lane. Move!
Mission
bottom! A bit hot down here. Shazam! Gyro and Dazzle, and they can control this creep wave relatively well, pulling across, making sure that Move has to go back into the jungle if he wants to safely farm anywhere at all. Now know that the OD is missing from mid. Otto arrives with the brown boots as well, and he's found himself a DD rune, but actually rotating off this mid lane is just not worthwhile for your OD. You want to sit, you want to farm, and you want people to come to you and rotate onto your lane to try and kill. Throw of an Astral there. I think MSS can do too much about it. Resolution. A little bit of punishment, a bit of pain for him. As Brax up on top lane, getting plenty of levels. Not being shut out at all, but of course he's got the help of this Enchantress throwing out these Satyr Blasts. I'm still wondering what exactly Weehar plans to do. Being almost doubled up on here pretty much by the Darkseer. 26-0 against the 15-1 of Wee. Good Spirit. Saw him play it in the mid lane as a core role. To see it a lot. An off-lane hero in pubs. But a bit competitive as well when the hero first came into the fray at WCA. But now, in the safe lane. How about this? See what kind of item build he goes for. Probably like the Arcane's into Veil that we've seen previously. Shazam, they've got a good grasp on this game. Pushing into tier 1 bottom. Move. Try and drag the creep wave back. This phase boots Nature's Prophet yet to make an active move on the map so far. You wonder. We see when they make use of this Enigma, because he's hit that level 6 point, no smoke available. He's been scouted out, so they know he's moving in towards the mid lane, and Blue actually tried to jump in as well with a TP Sprout. But this top lane, they've jumped in onto Misery, and your first blood's going to happen up here. Brax gets the kill with the Iron Shell, with SVG's help. He'll take down the tier 1 as well. Digital Chaos. They are just being pushed from pillar to post here. Not catching a break at all. That's just hiding in the trees. What does Weehar do? He kicks across the creep wave, and it's okay, he's going to come back and get some experience and maybe a little bit of gold, but he is just not an active force in this game whatsoever.
Top is up to something.
A little bit scary, honestly. Here lies Scant 2016. Rest in peace, my friend. CP forward, Brax will surge out though. Misery. So looking for that Hex to go onto him. The black hole is dropped onto SVG, but damage output is just not here. The stun of the attempt from the line is a little bit, but power shot not on the money. Resolution Doesn't latch onto it, and with Brax keeping himself away, everyone escapes. Shazam are perfectly fine with it. Black Hole is down. The first rotation of the Enigma doesn't work.
Radiant's top tower is
DC.
under attack.
They even rotated the Wind Ranger in to try and make the most of this. Digital Chaos. What a bother. Enigma is your top farmer from the jungle, 47-1, with Wind Ranger coming in third. Darkseer, OD, and Gyrocopter. Look at him go. TC, 55-7. What's his net worth? 3,300 so far. So the tier 1 still standing. That's pretty astounding.
Missing middle.
Still a way to go though. Mid-game power for DC still stands. Beehive, first roll into mid lane, hold the smash, it'll land. Not allow the shackle shot to latch onto anything, but the focus fire is there onto the MSF, race from Jason, and he's going to TP himself out, knowing there's no stuns remaining, and he gets himself back to Fountain!
Under attack.
Oh, Jason! Right place, right time, and DC, they get nothing for their effort.
Missing middle.
Apart from a little bit of damage onto the tier 1, but in the meantime, your tier 1 bottom lane is dropped.
Radiant's
Radiant's middle
Damage
tower
thing.
is under attack. Radiant's
all
top
good ward.
towers are fortified.
Towards the back lines, but it's Brax.
Dire's top tower.
Merging forward with his level 4 Iron Shell, looking to just
Dire's
quell this
bottom
push
tower
into
is
the
under
tier 1.
attack.
If he even gets to deny on the tower up at top lane as well, he's got his Tranquil Boots and he's about to hit level 6.
Bottom is missing.
It's something that definitely could try and neutralise that Figure of Death. There's chances is found over the side, but can't really do anything about this. Probably just going to try and roll himself back to safety or just walk it off. Yep. No catch here from Shazam. Something we talked about in the draft is the lack of actual stuns and disables out from them. Brute force lineup. You run at your enemies, you force them to fight, and you see what happens, which is why DC, they've got a pretty good counter. All of that. Enigma, Earth Spirit, as well as this Lion. Nature's Prophet can do a bit of split pushing over to the side if he really desires to go that direction. Let's see if Scanty's coming back. Rip PC.
Middle is missing.
Might just give up and go dead. Over. Me alone. How's Frank's doing on his farm anyway? After solving Quelling Blade. Okay. Quelling Blade Dark's here. Fair enough. Mac isn't that far away, honestly. 9.5 minutes in, he's going to have this by 13 minutes or so if it continues at this rate. MSS gets the tread, the shackle shot to stop the Wild Wing. Vader, of course, incredibly annoying for him, but here we go again. Black Hole in 13, Staxer. On to that ultimate, and with a smoke forward, they want to use his Finger of Death as well. Give it one more shot, I think. Let's get back in here.
Is missing.
And DC, they're not going to find anything. They rotated on mid looking for MSS. Alright, let's see. Chance. Greetings.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Maybe salutations, I'm not sure. Are you here?
Is under attack.
I can.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Sound awful?
Sounds
Radiant's
okay.
bottom tower is under attack.
I think it's better than not having you. I'm gonna put it that way.
Alright. So now I'm loading into the game, and I think, from my understanding of my computer's program, it should work, provided I'm only doing one thing at a time. My computer has, now's not the time to explain it, because it's a very strange series of problems. You're welcome to continue talking through the game so long as I'm busy loading.
Good thing. Well, Digital Chaos. They've been trying to utilize this line and this Enigma to get themselves into positions to fight, but he's got himself level 7 now. So he's got the 4 and the smash, he's got his ultimate available as well. This Earth Spirit, gone for the treads, probably looking for the Veil next after the owners. Oh, got Brax sprouted. Oh, that's what the Quelling Blade's for. Of course it is. Cut through the trees. Brax turns around to try and fight for the back. He's not going to land on the sacks, but this Iron Shell. Astral, MSS. Catches Enigma Sanctions in here, and he's in a spot of bother. I don't think he's running away from this one. Damage output is more than enough from Shazam to clear him up.
Alright, were you unsure why the Darkseer bought a Quelling Blade? See, that's quite evening here.
Yeah, well, like sometimes it just doesn't click. Sometimes when you're talking to yourself and you're thinking through these your thought processes, and you're just looking at all these different things. The Quelling Blade and Doctor is like, oh, what the bloody hell did you pick that up for? And now you realise and you think, I am a bloody idiot. I didn't just instantly snap and think, oh yeah, it's going to this round.
Yeah, so interesting actually, I mean, obviously I've missed basically most of the game so far, but it's interesting to me that Shazam had the Dazzle AD combo again, because to me, even though last game they had stuff like Low and Good, that was like the backbone of the group up and push. They've still got that, but they've got a draft that doesn't look as sort of all-in push, but it's got the potential to all of a sudden take lots of objectives, and it looks like that's what they're trying to do after the people. They're gonna get caught in that type of people.
Oh, the grave before the finger misses him to the kill. Jason is still stunned up with the shackle shot back onto him, and then TP out. SVG doesn't have one. He's going to try and deny himself to neutrals or something along those lines. He's healing up through this magnetize, and the power shot from Resolution doesn't even land. They're very far from SVG. It's not going to work. They take down the two supports here, and DC finally get themselves up on the board and tie things up 2-2. Didn't have to use the black hole either. But this game has been a pretty rough one here for Resolution. Missed power shots, right on the shackle shots, and the rotation's definitely not working out for him. But finally, they get something.
But you know what? It's okay for your lanes to struggle a bit when you have the Enigma. I don't know, like, was his jungle stage alright? I see he has a death. I don't know at what points he got it, but it seems like he's on track at the moment. Should have a next in.
He got large camp warded and he didn't deward it with a couple of sentries, but apart from that he's been untouched. I'd want the top lane that they've tried a couple of times to like smoke into kills, but he smoked top, black hole, Enchantress, didn't get the kill on it with his first black hole, and then they went for another smoke again with like Finger of Death ready for the Lion, and they got the Enigma killed basically. Just got left black hole mid lane, the Lion. Oh, and the Astral, another 12 tornado coming in. Will drop that nice big call down all. We are rolls away. DC for support, but I think they're going to lose their tier 1 here as well. The way I kind of look at this draft, I don't know if you'll correct me, but Shazam have very limited catch and stun potential, so their draft is very 5-man heavy, go into towers, and force your enemy to fight into you. While DC fifth picked the Enigma. And I don't know if it was planned, but having Enigma, Earth Spirit, and these kind of counter-initiation heroes that make from split pushing, it seems to theoretically deal with Shazam's strategy and draft very well.
Yeah, the dynamics is very similar to last week. Again, Shazam have more damage output and more healing. DC have much more control. The difference is that this time DC have the nature's cross, and that's, I think, what might make the huge difference is exactly what you're pointing at, because while they're threatening to control the fight, they don't feel the pressure to force the fight. They can sit back and take them when you come to them while the nature's cross split pushes, and it is super interesting, because we look at which things can counter Black Hole in this game. Like, forget about buying a BKB, you don't get Astral or vacuums, I believe. I mean, I suppose it's possible they could get Seeking Missile and Homing Missile. I guess it's called on what's because he's Seeking Missile because
yeah.
Anyway, that's kind of one way to point out the stuff is that there's very few reasonable ways to cancel a black hole. Like normally that's not going to take a black hole or Astral if those zeros aren't in it themselves. So I do agree. I think that there's a much more straightforward game plan for DC, whereas last game, they're in a situation where the enemy team's going to push them. The only way for them to deal with it is to fight, and because of timing, they kind of have to force the fight. Here, they theoretically can even drop all their avatars and defend the high ground.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Do with this draft.
Backs up. A decent position here. Oh, he's got to close this gap in SVG. A few little emphasis shots onto Wii. Nature's Prophet is still farming away up on top lane, and he's got enough money for that Midas if he wants to go for that route. I've seen a lot of Maelstroms recently from Furians who could really go that way, but the steal out, SVG has the Eidolon to go in, they'll time out and drop there. DC, it looks like they want to really heavily contest and defend this tier 2 tower, and therefore we are ready over in the wings, ready to roll himself in, while Misery is a Blink Dagger. Level 8 Lion. To the jump in, and SVG is going to be the target. I think he's a little bit out of position. The shackle shot will not catch onto a tree behind. That's going to be a little bit fortunate they don't lose anyone from that one.
Yeah, one of the nice things actually about the kind of control DC have this game is that when you have the shuffle shot, you can kind of just throw them out and see if it latches. If it does,
Radiant's top
you kind of
Radiant's
know you've got
top
that
tower
advantage
is under
going
attack.
into the fight before the fight. If it does, you haven't. You're trying to go and get
Or the raw.
Or the raw, yeah. So it allows not forcing things too much, but when the opportunity arises, they can good fight. They're going to be getting rushed with the other die side if we're considering, some kind of timer or Shazam representing the early game, tracking some of their damage output, this is going to be something that puts them on hold a bit for the enemy team as well.
Why do you think they gave the Aegis over to Weehar and not Resolution? Moments like this. Oh, hang on a second. Misery.
My pride.
Finds a kill over onto SVG. Is it just because Weehar's going to be rolling himself in and Resolution has the more offset stand up to these fights? He's a little bit further back while we just gets into the thick of things and brawls?
Yeah, I think it is that. I think it's, if anything, it might even be encouragement. Almost like the team wants him to be willing to do that. It's very nice when you have heroes like Enigma or even some the Wind Ranger. If you have a frontliner that baits the enemy team's position for your AoE or for your shuffle shot, and that's the kind of encouragement you need. But it's funny, this is something that's not talked about that much in professional Dota 2, because people talk about initiation, but they don't talk that much about there's a certain value in having a hero whose job it is to just go out there and greet the enemy team and say, how about you some spells on me? And there's a certain skill, I think, getting professional Dota players willing to do that. Put themselves on the front and the person. And Aegis is like a shortcut to that role. And so, the person playing the Earthquake, doesn't matter we or whoever, doesn't matter what their attitude normally is towards going into that position. If they have an Aegis, they can do it. So, in that sense, I think it makes good sense.
It's like when we used to see a lot of Wraith Kings, just that damage sink, being able to walk into a fight, sink a load of spells and ulti with damage output, shackle. Oh, Brax, asserted himself. Caught in the trees, but of course that quelling blade gonna pay off. Brax tries to get back in here, but Midnight Pulse placed and allow the retreat of Digital Chaos. Sure, if this chase is continued here, the Axe of Imprisonment ready. Down onto Moo's nature's property, wasn't behind the trees far enough, but Zack is ready with a black hole, back to the wall as well. There's the black hole catching out MSN. Let's put the damage output, but do they have the control? Yeah, with that cooldown landing, Moo is dropping very low, but we are returned into the fight. Rolls in, he's still holding it for more, but they've got the standard to put the throw down if they want to. Just need to find trap in Misery. Damage output's there, and Moo retreats, but he'll burn through to the earned damage nevertheless. Well, we are. Oh, is he the last man standing? Not standing any longer. MSS, Grave Dot burning through, Astral themselves keep himself alive through this as well, and we are, he's hunting for his kill, he wants to kick onto the bloody OT and he'll get it. Loses life for it though. A 4 for 2, with the Aegis taken out as well. Digital Chaos, they got hit hard.
Yeah, and I think what happened this time is, I think they were planning to take a fight, they had the Aegis, they just got their bell on the Earthquake, they had Black Hole up, but they weren't. The Earthquake was at base, you have to TP the tier 2 and run all the way there. In addition, they have one hero being sort of focused down to start and needs to run away. It's not, it's like, in their heads they've decided they want to fight, and then a fight starts and so they're kind of like, okay fine, I guess we'll just do whatever we can. But it's got to be more nuanced than that, deciding to want to take a fight and fight starts, take that fight. The way that fight started probably wasn't the ideal situation for them. If the Earthquake was a bit closer, good, definitely can guard, but Enigma catches Darkseid and only the only 2 heroes that can cancel his ulti, but he also has to stand in the middle of the DPS from the Enchantress and the Gyrocopter. But the Earth Split there is not going to happen, the Earth Split can do some card control at the same time. So,
and the fact that Darkseid already dropped his vacuum wall.
Exactly, it reminds me a bit of the previous game when I said there was a disastrous fight for them where they didn't have a ward. This one isn't about warding, but it's again, the decision making is maybe not as sharp as it needs to be in terms of like, this is a fight we want to take or this is a fight we don't want to take.
Well, we finished off his Veil and now he's picked himself up an Ogre Club. He's heading into a BKB or what? Deal with the Arcane Orb of the OD, I guess, and he's gonna be pretty good against that Darkseid vacuum back, but we'll find out who he heads into while a smoke up is out. Might be the one
Radiant
scouted out or left debate. Gyrocopter. he'll actually plan to TP in towards this bottom lane as the rest of his team has gone ho towards this Saxer Enigma, and he's looking to get the back to back. Brax to catch him and him alone, but his infamous shot comes from SG and SG. There's more than enough to clear him up from that. Magnetize, hang on a second, he escapes Saxer's shot, and Weehard to repeat out of plus. 2 down back on the track, he'll come through from the dazzle. But Weehard tries to burn through them, that smash will not catch. Brax though needs to be astraled up, or no he doesn't. Jason, this dazzle proving absolutely invaluable to keep them all alive. Well, Misery's on the hunt looking for any stragglers and maybe looking for a pick on the back end. PG, he walks away, but Enigma escaping there. All good, but you lose your Weehar Earth Spirit, and that's just not great if you want to keep pushing forward.
Yeah, and we go back to the Dazzle OD combo, right? They've had it in both games, and it's very punishing of an enemy team who takes fights scrappy or not perfectly coordinated in terms of which targets they can take down when. That's what, I mean, look at Dazzle, he's on full mana, even though he has to cast like 4 or 5 hills plus a grave in that fight. With that OD invites, the enemy team just has to be more, like DC have to be more careful and calculated in the kind of fights they take and the attempts that they go for kills. Well, I mean, Shazam could get punished if they split up more, but so far Shazam have done really well to not be when they do split a little bit, and most of the time, honestly, they're just not grouping.
They've got that double blink online, Resolution as well as Misery have to blink daggers up and look for the solo kills, but it's top lane where Resolution's caught with no wind run and no leg to stand on. 3 cores from Shazam, batter! 4 little ginger into the ground. But Chaos all started out, 1 little scout. That's Sata from Shazam, the Enchantress, threw it over to the side and found Misery, forcing Resolution into a position where he had to back. A bit tragic, but Moo on the other hand, this Nature's Prophet, he's farming decently. Got himself a Mjolnir recipe.
Yeah, so that's going to be something, but I still think what DC need to get right is what their plan is, what their approach is, and in some sense I almost feel like picking Weehar this mid-earth spirits and rushing the Veil this way. I almost feel like they're tempted with the tools that they have to force these fights. I think that's okay, they can force the fights, but they need to be much more intelligent about which fights they take. At the same time, we do see the split push, we then Nature's Prophet and really try to split push, but they, again, need to be more careful about when they're doing it. I still think, Resolution being picked off there, if it takes the entire enemy team with getting towards the lane, which, even though they weren't involved in the kill, they did all actually go to that lane. That's not so bad for DC, but much worse than the scrappy fights. If occasionally one of their split pushes get picked off by all of the enemy teams, all the enemy team heroes going to that lane, I don't think that's necessary. Like, that's part of the plan, really, when you split push. You know occasionally you'll have some casualties.
Enigma here that nearly has the Black King bar complete. 100 gold off it. Axa will be ready for these black holes in the upcoming fights. We've seen what he's building into. Is it going to be a BKB for him? He's still sitting on the Yoga Club and hasn't really progressed from it. Oh, that's the story of DC right now. Decent farm, but plus the progression into these bigger items while you're looking at the Outlaw Devourer, Blink, Tread, Drums, Ogre Club, and well on his way to BKB, while TC, same story. Black King bar, 100 gold away on him. Already got his S&Y phase and Helm of the Dominator 25 minutes in, the 12.5k net worth over this Gyrocopter bringing back the lead DC had, the split push from Nature's Prophet apparently working out wonders for them. Gets himself a decent amount of farm.
Resolution looks like he's going for BKB now, so skipping the Ags, which the Ags is actually quite important on I feel like this progression is almost out of necessity. Mostly just because, not because of the damage, and it's just because of the cooldown with the Ags. Whereas it's kind of like, again, if you end up using your ulti and then having to pull out and fight someone else, the win range's damage output is really, really low outside of its team. So it's going to just put that much more pressure on them when they do take fights to make sure that they're ready to take that particular fight. They can do it. And see Resolution pinging out Brax. If he gets a nice shackle, it should be an easy kill. Yeah.
TPM from Nature's Prophet, Moo comes in. There's Grieve here for Brax. Not going to be able to save him though. We're on cooldown. Off the back in the back. Bottom lane, Weehar falls out. He's out while Misery is hiding over in the trees looking again for any stragglers or easy pickoffs. probably going to be the prime target there with the stun and finger of death, while MSS
Radiant's
knows that Misery likes to do this kind of move and he's hunting for him. He'll to find him, but
Misery remembering his top 9 days.
Radiant's top tower is
AUI
under
love
attack.
doing the strides. Everyone just hide in the trees on the side, and it's become quite a mainstream strategy for certain heroes, especially Lions actually, and particularly when you have an Aegis Prophet in your team. Unfortunately, he didn't really have the vision to see someone run past and go in to blink out and catch them. But the split push game going quite well for DC. Have a net worth lead, they are progressing, and certainly not feeling that pressured right now.
DC are waiting for this next Roshan to come up. With Agents of the Immortal, they can again go and look for these aggressive head-on fights. They've got the initiation tools, they've got these BKBs. Can be done. Bit of an awkward timing here though, as Shazam will probably realize that Roshan is and ripe for the taking. Smoke themselves up by their own tier 2. That's exactly what they're going to do. Battle's holding onto one, he's going to pop it onto 3 of them. Champus and the Gyrocopter out of this one though. I actually make their move over towards the Roche pit, but Digital Chaos in that position. They're a little bit spread out across this bottom lane. Resolution mid and back into the fountain. Moo is up at top. Doesn't get his smoke pop, so he knows they're not in there. Might be a little bit of a wasted mission here. They do get a good observer ward down. Shazam, are they going to try and sneak this under the noses of DC? Because just look at this. DC have smoked themselves on the bottom lane and they're wrapping in on Jason with a great initiation. Jason's taken out, Dazzle's gone. And this is going to signal now to Shazam to get the hell out of here.
And again, it's a vision situation, right? I mean, look at there's 4 sentry watches
Radiant's
Shazam
top
have in
tower is under
and last
attack.
game also they did really well to take out DC's vision, but Shazam don't have this ward. And I feel like this ward is the ward that you need to see the issues moving to see if they come because they're smoking. And without them, to see it coming down again if they're smoking around, if they're smoking together. And compare the price, and I think that's the reason
Back into the wall, but Resolute has BKB with a cooldown. DC tries to fight through, but a solo black hole to him. Resolute throwing off the over 10 seconds of cooldown, still be hard, tries to get in here again, but his ultimate waiting to thread up someone. He's going to bail as well, but still, the Zam hold strategic advantage here, and they've got the victory on the high ground to pound into Resolution with a damage output more than enough. Digital Chaos, they lose 2 on the sides, and it looks like it might be more. Keeping out the next Prophet, we and Satsa
Dire's middle tower is
to
under
get away, but it's the Roshan steal. They got in there, DC looks fine and happy to take cages, but in the MSS's OD that secures it for himself.
It's interesting because exactly the reason I thought that DCH was going to be black hole, and we know that there's nothing really that could deal with that.
Radiant's
So
top tower
choosing the
is
black hole
under
only the
attack.
gyro. I think that decision
Dire's
time
middle
if you
tower is
kill
under
the
attack.
gyro. The black hole only the gyro and you manage to kill the gyro. I think
Dire's
that's
middle
right,
tower
that
has
he needs to
fallen.
like maybe walk through the
Radiant
gyro and try and
structures are
scare
fortified.
the heroes to pass.
Dire's middle
There
tower
as well,
is under
alternatively,
attack.
there could be miscommunication.
Radiant's top tower is fallen.
Focus fire also, there'd be enough DPS coming out. But that's definitely not the. You don't buy a BKB on Enigma in a game where they can't come to a black hole so that you can like single target not make a kill with black hole.
Missing
Radiant's top tower is under
DC, they
attack.
realize they've got to make something out of this one, running forward very aggressively in the shackles. Shot from Resolution, somehow catches the speed of the stage from MSS with his BKB, turns on the Misery, and this damage up, but it's closing up the Arcanor. Doesn't find the kill, but he's still got to try and turn this one around again. SVG healing through it all, but a focus fire flies through that kill by MSS. Well done to the Agency Immortal. The rest of his team, they come in to try and save him. Jason, Brave available, turns back, Moo in the pushing forward there, but it's MSS is left to his own devices in the back, while the TP aggressively in from Moo. Sprout available, but he's not going to catch sight. That Dazzle over in the back. That was incredibly split up there. Shazam, they got sliced in half by that one move from the Nature's Prophet, TPing in aggressively and basically soloing 4 heroes.
I think if we
Radiant's
TP a
middle
little bit
tower
deeper
is
up
under
there,
attack.
I might have killed the Dazzle as well. The Grave was already used, the Queen's already used. it's not going to be a big deal because this is not the aggressive set the pressure as well. So in terms of controlling back the, I mean, I talk about control,
Radiant's middle tower has
fight.
fallen.
In terms of controlling the map, it's all favoring DC at this point. I mean, what are the best tools Shazam has for catching the nature's problem start pushing? I guess when they caught the Wind Ranger, it was kind of like that, the Darkseer and OD combination. That's like the way that they have, because the vacuum and the astral, those are sort of ways they can catch you out and knock you down. But it's pretty awkward. These are not your conventional tools for deterring someone from split pushing the map.
You don't just have that jump and kill availability. Well, Resolution comes bottom. He's got his BKB. Plenty of wondering now with Shazam. Blink Dagger Greaves on the Darkseer, you know, it's good initiation and ability to start these fights off, but they have to work as a unit, they can't split up, no man can be left behind. How they work? Chantas can start popping out the DPS now with that Dragon Lance from long range, but again, top. They want the TP in from Moo. Brax is in more than a touch of trouble. Back, hang on a second, there's the Hex already surged up, little fishy flopping around. Brax is going to try and get himself out of this one, the TP's there as well in Misery. You guessed it correctly, stun is out, but Brax is already gone back home.
That's interesting because I feel like just before they set that gank up, the proper TP bot. So I'm not sure if there's a miscommunication in the team, or they just decided one of that gank right off the TP because they were waiting inside the wave. And I think there was an easy catch for them because they wanted the next block to guarantee the DPS.
Difficult task though, pushing forward into these lanes. There's Aghanim Scepter from Nature's Prophet you mentioned. Treants, them are all over the place. Coming in and out onto these waves, but it's a tier 2 at bottom lane that Shazam had in their sights, and I think that's what they aim for, is to bring that down and really think about going high ground at this point. Up against Enigma Black Hole, you've got to be a lot more patient about your movements and look for a team fight as DC.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They walk into Shazam here. They walk into them. Brax with a nice little shimmy across the surge to try and give vision into that area, but the blink back from Saxa. Switched up into an even better position now. The golden smash combo complete. Almost not land, and the Sympathist damage is looking good. That hook missile lands on him and Vihar. He's dead. Black Hole comes through though. Saxa catches 3. Brax is on the middle, but Misery, there's new ramming through. The damage output from DC is great for them. Resolution blinks aggressively again with the Dark Option. Jason, Dazzle, a friend, you are a gunner. Shackled between behind him while SVG is the last man standing. Digital Chaos sets up for that so perfectly. Brax even buys back, looking for the defense of the mid lane. 5-man wipe though. It's Enchantress. It's just a painfully slow death. Eventually she'll die. Surely. Just a few more hits now. Yes. The Brax has to buy back because again Nick is probably pressuring and pushing out these lanes means that mid and top need defending.
Come!
I think I've lost the coach out. I cannot hear you, Scan. You have turned into Mr. Destructoid. You are a robot. I can hear you now.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
You're a robot. Digital Chaos up on the high ground, 35 minutes in. Backing back, Brack tries to save this one up. Flying back in the dark here. That Shiver's Guard is going to be delayed quite heavily. Right. How about now?
Hello?
You sound a lot better.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
Good, you sound fine.
I wanted to say that the Ranger finished that. It's a really big deal.
Bottom.
They use multiple ultis per fight, it can be a lot easier to kill Enchantress. And what we were talking about earlier is the Earthquake just being a front liner. Didn't even matter that we all went down too quickly because we just set up for the Black Hole. It's an awkward spot that Shazam on Island because they recognize split push is not just to stop them, it's also just to farm, right? They're gonna be out to commute all game because of how deep these earths and farms spread out in the map. So they need to group and they want to push because they want to force the issue. Even though DC have a Black Hole online. It's, you're stuck between the rock and a hard place. You either have to fight with the black holes you can't stop, or you have to just accept the game is going to be split up and you're going to be off-farm.
Tough spot to be in. How do they come out of it though? Because all these lanes are pushing in, and Shazam, again, going back to the way their draft kind of progressed, it's always been this 5-man, move towards towers, force DC to fight into them and try and push high ground after taking down Roshan. You can't 5-man. You have to defend side lanes, you've got to defend mid, you've got to defend against these treants. And you're also walking past this really nice line of wards here from DC that basically cuts off the entire river section and sees this area here from Shazam.
Yeah, go back to here. It looks great as a combination when you're succeeding in your timings, if you're going to have compression. But as soon as you need to diversify, as soon as you need to like win a complicated skirmish or fight or run a pick off on the enemy team again, suddenly you realize that normally your team has a hero like a lion or a very witch doctor or like one of your supports can do more interesting things than just deal damage and kill. But that's not, this combination really is very linear in that sense. And yeah, none of the cores either are really expert. So OD is a very good but it's pretty risky business for an OD to do that. It's not, this is not like your win range. There's its own ways to get in and out. And pick some also or get away from those like a shackle.
I'm going to restart. And the robots, not the South African lovely scamp that we know. Hopefully a little bit better. No, they're still very robotic.
Yeah, try going.
Oh no, you sound fine now. it's coming and going.
What?
Yeah.
It's like.
No, you're gone. No, you're gone again. Tragedy. Rest in peace. Stand forever in our hearts. Never forget you. Always remember.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Roshan,
under attack.
gonna be up in about 15-20 seconds. Chaos. They know this is something that they have in their hands, ready to take. Not the fastest. Bringing the big man down. I've got the focus fire and the Eidolon and stuff like that, but Shazam will be wanting to contest that as well with the gyro, that vacuum from the darks here. After just walk themselves into the pit, while Shazam are doing some pretty good split pushing of their own. Variants are flowing around across the map, but top lane, Rax as well as MSS, they're shoving this one out, which is why DC, they've moved away from the Roche pit, scouting out with one Treant. But knowing that if they can get a couple of pickoffs here onto these big heroes from the Radiant.
Oh, let's see Misery's trigger finger, let's see how fast he is. Okay, TP's gonna come out.
Power shot nearly gave vision. Rax is out as well. DC, they don't get anything from that. Well, Roshan's scouted by not just the Treant, but also a catapult here from the Enchantress.
Okay, does it sound fine now? It should.
Yes. Oh, perfect.
Yeah, because I'm now on my computer. We stand the risk of upsetting my computer's RAM or whatever it is, but seems fine for now.
Just download some more.
Download some RAM, new graphics card and audio drivers. I guess drivers you can actually download, that's a stupid joke, but anyway. Dox is building towards Shivas, that'll be pretty big for a team fight, and Spirit's building towards Ags, the story. I feel like it's a long time since... I mean, is Spirit Ags like still a big deal? Seen it much since the nerf?
I don't think I've seen it in a competitive game since the nerf, no. I've seen it a little bit in pubs, but it's not very often I see it. It's usually, the Veil, your Blinks, your Force Staffs, your Urns, your Greaves, and utility items really from your Earth Spirits. But against an OD, or a Gyrocopter even, where a lot of your damage output comes from these two heroes, being able to turn them into a stone and maybe kick them onto a cliff, get them out of the fight, or even kicking someone into a black hole, that's definitely something that we could be looking towards. If you don't catch the full 5, Saxo could say, I've got 4 here, just jump in and kick one in the back a little bit further, get them into a black hole as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one more thing that they can do, one more control factor that they'll have, and highlight that Shazam are quite limited in what they do. And speaking of which, the OD is going to be building a Hex again, by the look of it, like last game, and I think that'll be key in this game, precisely for that reason. Then they do have that tool for like, pick a hero, go on. It's gonna be the for them to like, kite them. You know, you have more control over how
Radiant's
the
top
fight
tower
goes.
is under
At
attack.
the moment, it's just been kind of perfectly captured well in Darkseer's AoE, and that's how we fight.
Oh man, Shazam, they thought they were in the pit, but in fact, you look at top lane, Moo is pressuring onto tier 3, the entirety of the Radiant have moved themselves across to try and fight at Roshan, and it's all one massive bait here from DC. They'll roll themselves in again, try and take down the big man, while top lane has to be defended by Shazam. They're going to move themselves down towards bottom lane and defend. It's just pulling them across the map over and over again. Digital Chaos have a much better game plan this time around, and they're executing it a lot better as well.
Yeah, this is a list of the fundamental which why the popular tactics. Like DC showing us all the ways that you can. It's like playing cat and mouse, and you just. I don't know, you have so much control over the movements of the enemy team.
Radiant's
Why you
top
keep
Radiant's
getting further and
top
further ahead
tower
on
is
farm.
under attack.
You get to decide where they go on the map. You push a lane, they have to come defend. You go to rush, they have to come there too.
Look at the movement from Shazam. They move across the Roche pit, they try and fight. The push comes in top. They move themselves back across, and guess what? They move back into the Roche pit again. Shazam. Oh, this must be so annoying to play here as the Radiant, because you're just moving from like top lane to Roshan. Top lane, stop them, we're gonna catch them, we're gonna stop them, we're gonna catch them. Roshan, Agent Cheese. That's just so awkward.
It's pretty tilting. It's honestly like, I mean, I don't know, tilt is maybe an extreme word, but I can tell you for a fact that players typically get frustrated by having to deal with this kind of thing. And sooner or later you'll see that restlessness come out and like, just forcing a play, some kind of like, as we have to do something, we can't just sit around and get further and further behind. I mean, strategically that's kind of like the correct situation anyway. But I think it takes very high caliber, like a lot of composure and control of professional teams to not tilt the comment. Oh, there's a shackle shark up to.
Resolution's trying to pound into this one, but the hex forward, that's not going to land, and DB shows away by Brax. Resolution, another shackle shot in 1 second, not fast enough, so he blinks himself forward, looking maybe TC again. Pound shot will not see his vision of him.
It's a real jump before he's gonna die.
Assess that. I think it's BKB force, I don't know if it's meant to be will die, so it's BKB from well, devouring, looking for the kill from line, but it's not going to get it just yet, hiding in the trees, and MSS graves up on the side, but he's trying to get himself down to the low ground, but isn't even able to do this. When damage is available, with a power shot damage and Resolution perfectly timed. Digital Chaos will get the kill, and now buyback is probably going to be forced here from the OD as they pressure up on the high ground, and not 1, not 2, but probably 3 lanes in a short while, as Bottom is pushing in very heavily as well. Saxa ready to switch
The dual spots what we were talking about 13 soldiers being.
Yep.
And I really thought he would also finish the lion.
Jump in, BKB to PC, and the grave on the SPG is good, but what's the accomplishment now? Weeha, he's got the cheese, pops in, gets himself back up to full HP, Brax is looking for the ball as well, but he's dropping into the vacuum thrown, no Resolution. There we go, for the damage onto Brax, is it going to be enough? Back touch, but it's through over Sacrifice. MSS is caught, over the back lines, the die back from the OD, as a triple kill comes in for Weave. Shazam, hiding in their own fountain, and Digital Chaos. Looking for this melee barracks. Chantless damage from SVG, looking decent, slow back off Resolution and the cooldowns here. Actually catching someone with the agent of Resolution available, they'll take down the melee. Might even look for a little bit more. PC is up on the front line, Resolution aiming up, trying to line the shackle shot onto him. Switch over towards mid lane.
BKB blink black hole,
Radiant's middle tower is under
not much
attack.
reason for DC to go back.
Radiant's middle
As a mech as well. 40 seconds without your darks here, or your Outworld Devourer. It's gonna be almost 2 lanes, and that's a gorgeous shackle shot. It's too bad Resolution doesn't have the follow through to come in onto it.
It's under attack.
Yeah, it's actually a distraction. They just want to get all the tier 3s and all the melee axes. They kind of know that it has to be there.
BC next up, and Black Hole was a bit of a mana one. Down to the Gyrocopter alone with Enchantment, the solo source of damage. Jason is fully enough. But we hard to cross ground pass and buy back out from the Gyro. Gonna himself back in the fight, but Moo stands his ground. SVG damage through onto Fury, and it clears him up. Looking for Weehar now, but he's out of mana. And Resolution wants to BKB, turns the fucking for TG. Look at that freaking damage out from Resolution. TG is shredded. The dieback there from him as well, and Emerson jumps forward, trying to catch out this nasty little Wind Ranger. But the Hex and Wizardry will save Ginger. Keep her alive. Not so lucky. Attacks over on the side. Takes out the mid-range racks though, as there is one barracks left standing.
Yeah, both the Deathblade Enigma and Ancient Prophet were kind of like, we're gonna die. They decided to just hit buildings while dying, and I feel like you get to that point. It's like EC have decided that they've pretty much won the game, like 9% chance, and they just want it to be over as soon as possible to go to the third game. Because they could have, I think both the zeros could have actually gotten away, but they feel like they've done enough. Like almost like, why is this team not just calling it? Just get these Raxes done and go next.
Mask of Madness for SVG. Bit of a desperation item. So get yourself Moonshard or anything like that. Goes in for the attack speed as quick as you possibly can. To see this from, you know, enchantresses and tinies and things like that, just, I've got 2,000 gold, while losing, need an item to do a lot of stuff and to do it right now. And this is that item for you, but up against super creeps on 2 lanes, and Nature's Prophet with Aghanim Scepter once he's alive now. Throw his ultimate out in a little bit. All these lanes get shoved out massively.
I think Shazam, like they thought they could go for a Hail Mary play, group up mid, there's no black hole, let's try and get like at least one side of racks, but I don't know if they even have the time to do that, unfortunately. Like their bot lane is pushing it too hard. The top, that final racks could just get backdoored. Honestly, I wouldn't be that surprised when Ancient Prophet just TPs in there and starts attacking it. That's the ping that we see. So they're expecting that play.
It's just rough here for Shazam, trying to all in onto anything. Against this Moo, Nature's Prophet, who's TPing forward into the shackle shot of Resolution, and the SVG 1.5 minutes. Without one of your primary damage sources here.
In at point Resolution just cast Wind Run and BKB and all their acts, and there's literally nothing they could do.
Rax on the aggressive, jumps forward, back to the wall, pull down there as well. Resolution forwards, and this Wind Ranger turns back to fight the black hole from the back. Catching on the GC and Rax. This might just be game over. MSX on the back line, trying to do as much as he can, but good game call. Shazam. They will concede game number 2 here. Digital Chaos take it to 3.
Are under attack.
Yeah. So the difference between game 1 and game 2 is very much the Ancient Prophet was the most controversial you can see, because both the games Shazam have very like group up and spy oriented drafts. In game 2 their drafts, I think group stuff like the timing is a bit later because it doesn't have the inherent push factor of the Lone Druid, and it also just like in the first game, it doesn't have any kind of way of dealing with the enemy team starts making the fights interesting or starts splitting the game up, splitting the map, and Nature's Prophet is the perfect tool to do that. So to just